In Ratatouille, we see animals experimenting with their growing personification in small controlled experiments. Remy wants to cook, something only humans explicitly do. He crafts a relationship with a small group of humans and finds success. Meanwhile, the villain of Ratatouille, Chef Skinner, disappears. What happened to him? What did he do with his newfound knowledge that animals were capable of transcending their instincts and performing duties better than humans? It's possible that Charles Muntz, the antagonist of Up, learned of this startling rumor, giving him the idea to begin inventing devices that would harness the thoughts of animals, namely his dogs, through translator collars, like they wore in the movie Up. These collars indicated to Muntz that animals are smarter and more like humans than we actually think. He needed this technology to find the exotic bird he's obsessed over for some odd reason. And he even comments on how many dogs he's lost since he arrived in South America. Now, if you guys actually are familiar with a lot of the Pixar movies, you may be thinking, but Muntz was working in South America before the events of Ratatouille even happened. While that's true, it's not explicitly stated how and when he developed the collars. Also, we know that Ratatouille takes place before Up for several reasons. In Toy Story 3, a postcard on Andy's wall has Carl and Ellie's name and address on it, including their last names to confirm. This confirms that in 2010, the time of Toy Story 3, Ellie is still alive or hasn't been dead long. This supports the idea that Up takes place years later. Now, in the beginning of Up, Carl is forced to give up his house to a corporation because they're expanding the city. Think of that. What corporation is guilty for polluting the earth and wiping out life in the distant future because of technology overreach? By and large, B&L, a corporation that runs just about everything by the time we get to Wall-E in the history of B&L, commercial from the movie. We're told that B&L has even taken over the world governments. Did you catch that? This one corporation achieved global dominance. Interestingly, this is the same organization alluded to in Toy Story 3. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, in Toy Story 3, spoiler alert here, they open up Buzz Lightyear's back, and his batteries are actually owned by and Large. Now, probably the most interesting thing in the entire timeline, except for the very ending, is Finding Nemo. In Finding Nemo, we have an entire population of sea creatures uniting to save a fish that was captured by humans. By and Large shows up again in this universe via another news article that talks about a beautiful underwater world. Lines are being crossed, humans are beginning to antagonize the increasingly networked and intelligent animals. Think about Dory from Finding Nemo for a second. She stands apart from most of the other fish. Why? She isn't as intelligent. Her short-term memory loss is likely a result of not being as advanced as the other sea creatures, which is a reasonable explanation for how rapidly these creatures are evolving. It's likely that the sequel to Finding Nemo, which is about Dory, will touch on this further and explain why. We may also get some more evidence pointing to animosity between humans and animals. Now again, if you guys are familiar with these Pixar movies, some people may have pointed out that Dory is actually more intelligent and shows signs of growth due to her ability to read and communicate with whales. This would actually show signs of how the animals are beginning to change in intelligence gradually. That's true. And that is the furthest movie in the animal side of evolution.